Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Balqis Azhaari Salsabila with the student number 104. I'm from class 6C Pragmatics, and today I would like to present my final project in the media of YouTube. So let me just start my presentation today. And wait a minute, I would like to open my PowerPoint. Okay, so this is my PowerPoint. Let me start. So my final project is about the implicature article. And for a nutshell, I'm going to explain a little bit about implicatures. In here, Yule in 1996 defined implicature as an additional conveyed meaning, as well as Gris in 1975 stated that implicature comes from the term implicit and it is not easily understood by the listener because it has a hidden meaning. Also, she said that in 1975 divided the implicature into two branches, conversational and conventional implicature. So implicature is about the hidden meaning or conveyed meaning. Next, let me just get into my choice of the article. So in here, with the title Conversational Implicature as found in buyers and sellers interaction in the traditional market of Lubuk Alung, and it is written in 2017. So it is not more than 10 years. And then for the author, there are Indah Nadia Irnanda and Hamzah. They are from Fakultas Bahasa dan Seni University of State University of Padang. And the journal itself is E-Journal of English Language and Literature, Volume 6, number 2 in Series A. In Series A, I mean. Okay, so this is the appearance of our first page of the article. As you can see in here. Okay, so the purpose of this study is to first to analyze the conversational implied meaning or called implicature in conversation between buyers and sellers in the traditional market of Lubuk Alung based on Greece cooperative principle and its maxims. And the second one is to analyze how utterance can go beyond its literal meaning by floating some maxims by the speakers, since floating of maxims can generate implicature. And the third is to analyze the comparisons between male and female in floating of maxim in buyers and sellers interaction in traditional market. Okay, so for the research design, this study uses descriptive qualitative method. Studi ini menggunakan metode deskriptif kualitatif karena tujuan dari studi ini adalah untuk menganalisa fenomena sosial dari sudut pandang partisipan. The Theory of Conversational Implicature by Greece, 1975. Teori yang digunakan berasal dari Greece pada tahun 1975 tentang implicature yang berfokus pada bidang conversational, seperti yang sudah saya jelaskan pada page sebelumnya, bahwa ada conversational implicature dan juga conventional implicature. And the data is collected from Birkin transaction conversation in traditional Lubuk Alung market. Data diperoleh dari percakapan tawar-menawar di Pasar Lubuk Alung, di mana penulis telah merecord percakapan tersebut, dijadikan transkripsi, dipilah, dan disortir berdasarkan kategori floating maxims. Okay, next. The result founded, this is the first one. There are 20 conversations, consist of five female buyers and male sellers conversations, 5 male buyers and female sellers conversation, 5 female buyers and female sellers conversations, and 5 male buyers and male sellers conversation that have been already recorded by the researcher. Buyers' utterances at floating maxim is dominated by female with 6 floating manner maxim and 5 floating relevance maxim, while males only did 3 floating manner maxim and 2 floating relevance maxim. Female sellers' utterances are more floating, especially in maxim of manner with 14 occurrences rather than male with 11 occurrences. Untuk percakapan dari pembeli, tidak terlalu banyak ditemukan floating maxim. Hanya floating dari maxim manner dan relation yang didominasi oleh pembeli perempuan. Sedangkan untuk percakapan dari penjual ditemukan 2 floating quantity, 1 floating maxim quality, 14 floating maxim manner, dan 6 floating maxim relevance bagi penjual perempuan. Dibanding dengan penjual laki-laki yang hanya melakukan 3 floating quantity, 1 floating maxim quality, 11 floating maxim manner, dan 5 floating maxim relevance. Okay, next. This is the second result that I found. The writers find sellers and buyers' tendency to violate the maxim when the first one is maxim of quantity. So the writers find the sellers and buyers' tendency to violate the maxim is when seller is persuading the customer by exaggerating the information they provide. Jadi penjual itu melebih-lebihkan barang dagangan, informasi dari barang dagangan yang mereka jual kepada pembeli, agar pembeli tersebut yakin untuk membeli barang tersebut. And the second one is, in the term of maxim of quality, they providing information that had not been proven or only according to him for the buyer who interest in the goods. Jadi mereka itu, para penjual memberikan informasi yang sebenarnya hanya menurut mereka saja, belum tentu itu benar di hadapan orang lain gitu. Jadi hanya menurut pendapat mereka saja agar pembeli tersebut tertarik untuk membeli barang dagangan tersebut. Lalu for the C point is maxim of manner. Responding to the participant's statement in the fake or confusing manner. Seller and buyer had this floating in bargaining process. So, and the last is maxim of relation. Seller often floating this maxim when the buyer tried to bargain the price. They often responded with other topic or answer. So for these two last ones, let we just understand it by the example that I provide in the last of the slides. Okay, so we are here in the example part. The first one is the example of maxim of manner. As you can see in here, buyer said, kalau yang coklat ko baju anak muda ko dia, or in English, does this brown one just for young people? And the seller answer or respond, pede awa enyo, depend on your confidence. So in here, the seller floated the maxim of manner because her answer was ambiguous and not straightforward. Seperti yang kita bisa lihat di sini, PD awalnya depend on your confidence, itu tergantung pada kepercayaan dirimu, sebenarnya tidak menjawab atau memberikan respon yang sebenarnya ambigu terhadap pertanyaan dari pembeli, yaitu apakah warna coklat ini cocok untuk anak muda gitu. Jadi the seller floating the maxim of manner. Okay, we are going to the second one. This is the example of maxim of relevance. Buyer, nggak bisa kurang, Kak. Could you make it cheaper? Bisa nggak dipermurah atau ditawar? And the seller said, Iko imo mah, Kak, rancak banyo. This is Ima, brand of the item. It has good quality. So in here, the seller floated the maxim of relevance because she did not provide an appropriate answer in responding buyer's question. Seller answered, but the quality of the item while the previous topic discussed about the price. The real intention of the seller was to say that the price of the dress wasn't negotiable. Jadi di sini, floating maxim of relevance terjadi ketika pembeli menawar barang dagangan dari penjual. Namun penjual tersebut bukannya berkata iya atau tidak, justru penjual tersebut mengatakan merek baju ini Kak, Ima, nama brandnya. Ini bagus loh Kak, gitu. Jadi tidak relevance, it is not relatable, but actually the seller said, the seller intention, tujuan dari penjual mengatakan brand tersebut bagus dengan kualitas yang bagus pula, itu adalah menyatakan bahwa harga tersebut sudah tidak bisa ditawar lagi, seperti itu. Okay, so we are here in the third result that I found. The maxim is floated 23 times in female statements. 3 utterances floating the quantity maxim, 9 utterances floating the maxim manner, 11 utterances floating the relevance maxim, and no utterances floating the quality of maxim. So, as we can see in here, relevance maxim atau maxim of relation itu paling banyak terjadi diucapkan pada partisipan perempuan. However, male statements floated the maxim 19 times in total. 3 utterances floating the number maxim or quantity maxim, 3 utterances floating quality maxim, 8 utterances floating the style maxim or manner maxim, and 5 utterances floating the relevance maxim. Seperti yang terjadi halnya pada perempuan tadi, namun di sini juga sama, ketika laki-laki paling banyak, partisipan laki-laki paling banyak mengutarakan atau memfloating maxim itu pada maxim of manner tersebut sebanyak 8 utterances. But as we can see in here, perbandingan antara laki-laki dan perempuan partisipan tersebut sebenarnya yang paling banyak melakukan floating adalah perempuan, baik mereka adalah penjual maupun pembeli. Dan floating yang paling banyak diutarakan adalah floating of manner. Seperti itu. Okay, so we are here in the final slide of mine. I would say thank you so much for giving me attention, and Actually, if in a class, I will have one question, but because I'm here in the Zoom or online session, I can't really get the question. Okay, so after all of this, I would say thank you so much for your attention, and I would like to just close my presentation today. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.